Hello, everyone. It's good to connect with you again through the scriptures. Every time we open this book of life, we are always refreshed, and God has a word for us to speak in season to us. I was meditating upon this verse in Psalm chapter 36 and verse 9. For with thee is the fountain of life, in thy light shall we see light. Today, I would like to share with you about how we need to draw and be connected to this fountain of life. So, as we are connected, we would have much more light, and we see that, we will be led to paths of life. God is the giver, and He is the sustainer of our life. He is the source, and He is the one who knows how to fulfill us. Because we were created with a purpose, with a design to fellowship and to commune with Him. We were created after His very likeness and image, but we know that sin had marred what God had planned and purposed for us and disconnected us from that life. And because of which, man now is in a constant pursuit and is trying different methods to fulfill that need and that void in his life. And it could be with different things or people in his life. And there's a story in John chapter 4 which shows us about this woman, the woman of Samaria. And probably each one of us have heard many sermons, and we are familiar with this passage. And we see that here that Jesus Christ had a real reason, a purpose, an intention in going to Samaria. He knew that this woman needed help. She was drawing from the wrong sources. She also probably tried to do many things to satisfy that void, that need in her life, but it was futile, it was useless, and she was not satisfied. She was empty, she was lost, and she was needy. And Jesus Christ, when when He came there, He asked her for a drink in verse 7. And there was a reason why Jesus Christ started a conversation with her and asked her for a drink, because He wanted to show her who was actually thirsty, who was actually needy. Jesus Christ knew that she needed help, she was needy, but He wanted her to know that He could meet that need, and He wanted to show her what was her real need. And that's what Jesus Christ wants to do for each one of us today. We all have needs. We all have areas in our life where God wants to meet us right there. But for that, we must be willing to go to Him. He is willing to help us, and we need to be willing to receive His provision and His help, because He deeply cares for us. And He also, that day, that specific hour, He went there so that He could have a conversation and change that woman's perspective from that day forth. And in this passage, we see that when He asks her for water, He tells her in verse 10 that if you knew the gift of God, and who told you, you would have asked me, and He would have given you living water. In verse 10 it says. And she doesn't understand, because when He's asking her to give me to drink, and she wonders why is He even having this conversation with her. And that's when He replies that I can give you living water. And He uses an outer need, that is water. The very reason that she came there for was to draw water, but He used that outer need to reach her inner need in her life. He knew that a need that could only be met by Him, and she could only think on a natural level. That's why in verse 11 she is like perplexed and confused. She says to Him that sir, you have nothing to draw with. The well is deep. So how is it possible that you are claiming to give me this living water? Because she saw that He was talking, but He did not have anything with Him to help her, because her level of understanding was very natural. But Jesus Christ was not just referring to the natural water which she was thinking about. He was referring to her spiritual need. And sometimes we are like that. We also are trying natural. Our thinking is a natural way, and we are thinking of natural methods to fulfill that inner need. And that inner need, that insatiable thirst for intimacy and relationship with God, can only be fulfilled by Christ Himself. That is the most foundational thirst in our life, and we could try to fill that need, fix our soul problems with a natural solution, and but that would be futile. That leads to frustration. And so we see that here he is providing a solution for her, and she wants to receive that solution to her need, but she couldn't identify the difference between her inner and outer need. And that's what many times happens with us. We do not know that area of our need, and we are trying other methods to to fix it. We are thinking it on a natural basis, a natural sustenance, that how are we going to achieve it. But we see that she had an internal need to be loved, to be accepted, to be forgiven, to be restored, a need for intimacy and attention. And she tried everything. But that conversation with Jesus that day, changed her thinking, changed her heart, changed her understanding of worship. She found that living water, because he used an outer need, to reach her heart. And God always wants to give us a solution for our problems. And even though when we are only thinking on a natural level, He's able to connect with us, and He's able to meet that deep desire in our heart, the very longing in our heart. And we cannot use a natural means to fix a spiritual problem. And that's what Christ did for us at salvation. We see that He met us there at our point of need, and He fulfilled us that inner thirst. And today also He is willing to fulfill our inner and outer needs. He understands where we are hurting. He knows our brokenness. He knows our soul, and He is willing to heal our soul. And He wants us to experience that rest, that satisfaction. And we just need to draw from that endless well so that we can be satisfied. And positionally, we have drawn from that well of salvation and found life. But experientially, we need to make a conscious decision to draw from Him. And in order that we can function in our calling, in our gifts, we need to draw from that well of life, so that we could receive strength, we could receive power, we could receive life. It's like an example of a power bank. When a power bank is charged up, it is able to charge the mobile phones. And so it needs to be connected to a power source, and it needs to be fully charged up, so that now that power bank can be used to charge the mobile phones, and we could take it to different places. And that's how our life is. In Him is the fountain of life. So when we are drawing from this fountain, we are drawing from His life, from His promises, from His capacity, and we receive that strength, we receive that mind, we receive the grace to go forward. And because He is the source of our life, and when we draw from Him, one thing we realize, that His supply is constant and plenty. That's what in John chapter 7 He said, that in verses 37 and 38 He speaks about the living water, and He said that if any man believes on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And how that well will not just be there, but it will be springing up, and it will be life-giving water. In John chapter 4, so He tells her about that. And so when we are drawing from this well of life, there is a constant supply. It's inexhaustible, and it's like a one-stop place for us. Like when we go to a departmental store, we can find everything there that is necessary under one roof. And the well of life is like that one stop for us, because as we draw from this well, we receive every day mercies for us that are new every morning. We draw from His love, so that we would be able to forgive others. We receive grace upon grace, the fullness of grace in our lives. So we see that there's so much more that this well of life has to offer us. And as we drink from that well, we are nourished, we are built up, And it is not that we are only sustained, but we are encouraged, we are made strong, our heart can rejoice, and it is a life-giving water that we are refreshed and renewed. And as we receive His light, we can walk in that light. We receive wisdom for our decisions, and we can lead others to that light, because we are walking in that life and we are receiving that life, and now we can lead others to that life and light. And as we draw also, we can realize that our attitudes are being changed, our mind is being changed, and we are responding and having the ability to respond well. We don't need to respond in the flesh, because we are connected to the Spirit. It's like when we are drawing water from a clean well, we know the taste of the well water, it is different. We know the benefits that are there of the well water. But when we take the example of a borewell water, or certain kind of water that is hard water, it has a lot of salt beyond a particular recommended proportion, and that leaves a lot of stains, and it spoils stuff. There's a lot of discoloration, and that water is not so good for drinking. And so when we don't draw from the well of life, we will draw from our flesh, or we may even turn to other sources, and that won't have a good and a desirable outcome. In Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13, it speaks about the people, the nation of Israel, that had forsaken the living waters, and they went to other sources. They they tried to make their own inventions, and we will not have a great response system when we are not drawing from the well of life. And we can look to our own inventions and other sources that won't really be profitable to us. It only leads to disappointment. We can try it, but it won't be helpful. And so in Christ is the true provision. Through this well, we can draw from the endless supply of God's love, and we can be filled, and there will be an overflow in our life. And when there's an overflow, we are operating from that point of overflow. Our heart is overflowing with rivers of His loving kindness, and that brings refreshing to others. So the life that from this endless well, and when we are connected to this fountain of life, is a total provision. It's a life that supersedes everything else. It can't be found elsewhere. The world will always try to give us quick fixes to the problem, temporary solutions, but when we come to this place, when we come to this endless supply, this well of life, we can drink freely. We have found life, and we find there is an overflow of His kindness, of His grace, of His compassion in our life, and we are now able to minister to others. Because of what we have received, we are able to bless others. And that's what happened to this woman in John chapter 4. At the end, we see that she is able to go and bring many others to that life, and her life is touched. She finds contentment, she finds fulfillment, her perspective is changed. And this is the similar progression that is in our life. Once that we have tasted and seen that the Lord is good, we have found that life, we are drawing from it, we are sustained, we are nourished, and now we are not having a lack, but we can operate, because we are constantly going and refilling ourselves. As I gave you the example of the power bank, and now we are operating from that point of overflow. We can now reach out, and we can bless others. So in this closing, I was just thinking that we need to stay connected. We need to not be cut off from this power, the supply that God has for us. We need to constantly be connected, to be drawing from this endless well, so that we can be refreshed, we can water others, we can bring others to that life, to show them that they can also taste and see that the Lord is good. And so stay connected to this supply, this well of life, and draw from this well of life, and you will be refreshed, you will be nourished, you will have a strong mind, you will have a heart that can rejoice, and that is constantly bringing refreshing to you and to others. So I hope this portion ministers to you. God bless you, and take care.